Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back with a new Viking Orations. Got another review for you today, and this time I'm going to be talking to you about the debut EP from the band Relic, entitled Crown of Flies, out now through Malefic Records, which I'm wondering if Malefic Records is actually run by the band themselves, because this actually shows this as an independent release on the archive, so not real sure about that, but yeah, I digress. If you're not familiar with Relic, they are a death metal band out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Been around since 2025, featuring Alex Pulvermacher on the drums, Vinny Alvarez on guitars, Kevin Forsyth handling guitars and bass. He's a former member of Cyanosis and Jungle Rot, among other bands that he has been in. And finally, Jeff Plua. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name. That's kind of a tongue twister for me. On vocals, as I said, this is their debut EP. It is 4 tracks and just a little over 10 minutes in length. And honestly, this relatively new band was completely unknown to me until I got a promo for this in my email. But once I hit play, I was absolutely blown away by this thing. And honestly, one word could really best describe the atmosphere of this entire EP, and that is evil. Right off the drums, their production really stood out as they sound quite powerful and definitely a bit forward in the mix, not too overpowering of the other instruments or anything, but they definitely stand out in the mix. Nice thunk to the snare, and the kicks have a nice oomph to them. And while he doesn't really do anything overly flashy or anything, I think Alex lays down a really solid foundation with lots of solid double bass and blast beats. The bass on here makes its presence felt, really working with the guitars to give the song some nice heft. And the only thing is, though, is I wish it was kind of a little bit higher in the mix. Is honestly, it really doesn't come through, except for in spots here and there, such as the opening to the closing track, Iron Sacrament. I love the guitar tone on here. It's heavy and dirty with a slight HM2 feel to it, though not quite the buzzsaw sound. Kind of think bands like Bloodbath and their guitar tone. That's kind of the guitar tone you get on here. They're mid to fast paced with lots of heavy chugs and grooves, and there were a few moments on here that really kind of stood out to me, such as track number 2, about 42 seconds in, entitled Filth of Rebirth. I love that little kind of chaotic whammy bar riff that goes on in that section. It kind of has this very Slayer-esque feel to it. Then the following track, Scavenger's Daughter, track number 3, very cool sounding riff, about 1:48 in, with this nice slow chug going on underneath, and some really nice double bass groove going on. And then going back to the closing tracks, Iron Sacrament, 2:20 into that song, there's a really just absolutely killer heavy sounding groove with this nice double bass going on underneath to kind of close out the EP. Really sounds really badass and just evil sounding. The vocals on here are a nice, savage mix of snarls and roars, with the opening to track number 2 having a really killer sounding snarl to really kick things off in that song. At times they will layer the 2 styles of vocals, and I think that sounds absolutely badass to me. Overall, I would give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's just a really solid debut offering from this up and coming band. It may only be a little over 10 minutes in length, but the band absolutely wastes no time over these 4 tracks. Other than the kind of slower opening to the closing track, with this really nice double bass groove underneath of it, there's really no let up once this thing gets started. Just a quick, savage, filthy, evil sounding death metal EP, and I would highly recommend this. Like I said, this gets an 8.5 out of 10 from me. Go check out Relic. I will be leaving a link down below so you can check it out for yourself and pick up a copy. And that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.